Hi, welcome back. My name is Cole,
And I'm Andrew.
and this is CTRL-AC.
CTRL-AC is the podcast where we talk about what defines the word ultra. So far, it seems like ultra means action buttons, higher prices, and titanium. So anyway, we'll talk about Apple stuff later, including iPhone Ultra leaks and all that.
Ooh.
First, let's start off with a really, really annoying story.
This is extremely annoying.
So, I'm going to read this headline from The Verge. GM is cutting off access to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for its future EVs. So, starting with the 2024 Blazer EV, it will have no CarPlay and Android Auto in favor of a native Google-run infotainment system.
This is really dumb. I don't understand. Why can't they just not do dumb things?
The whole point of CarPlay is so that you don't have to use the awful in-car infotainment
That's the
system.
entire reason, the sole reason it exists.
So I don't see, unless the Google Run native thing is really, really good.
It's gotta be better than CarPlay.
But there's also a performance problem too, because CarPlay runs off of your phone. So it's just however fast your phone is. A car infotainment screen is not going to be as fast as your phone.
They're gonna have to pull a little Tesla and throw a little small AMD computer in your car now.
I guess. I mean, I know that Ford has a deal with Google, so maybe Ford is the next to restrict CarPlay and Android Auto usage. I really don't know. Also, remember at WWDC last year, Apple, right before they did that whole next-gen CarPlay thing, they showed a statistic, and it was something along the lines of 70% of U.S. car buyers say that CarPlay is a deal breaker. If they don't have it, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Does GM just not care?
I'm convinced that no car companies anymore just care about what their users want. They're purchasers.
I know what BMW is going to do. They're going to just make a CarPlay subscription.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Instagram things where it's BMW users when their subscription for their windshield ends and then it just goes dark?
No,
I
haven't.
Pay
That's
for
funny
the
though.
new windshield subscription. But I think a lot of people now are so used to CarPlay. It's just a given thing in their new cars because it's been around since 2018. That's when it really got thrown into all cars. So anyone with a car that's 2018 or newer basically has CarPlay. So when non-tech savvy people go to a dealer and the salesman is like, well, look at this Google infotainment system. It has all these features. It has Spotify built in and all that. They're just going to be like, okay, great. How do I get to CarPlay? And then they're going to say, oh, well, it doesn't have it.
And they're going to be like, oh,
so I have to learn a whole new UI just to...
Is this going to also be native for Pixel phones? Google, instead of using Android Auto on their Pixel phones, will just use their
even know.
Google Auto.
I don't know what kind of integration this will have. I don't know. I don't think this is going to go over well with average car buyers.
I don't think it is
I
either.
could be wrong. People may end up liking this more, and we haven't used this, but CarPlay is pretty great, and people love it.
It's just
better. It's broke. I mean,
CarPlay is just better.
It just works.
My grandma recently just got a Pixel 7, and Android Auto's okay. It's not particularly good looking. It's not as helpful as CarPlay, but it works better than her little Cadillac infotainment.
Yeah, which Ford Sync 4 is Ford Sync 4 is good. Mercedes, Tesla, and BMW All of their infotainment systems are good.
I'm actually impressed by Jeep's infotainment system. My
Yeah, like
dad
in
has a
the
2015 Jeep Cherokee, and the tech is starting to get a little bit slow, but it doesn't look too outdated. And my dad, he recently rented a Jeep Gladiator for a trip, and it was pretty good, nice and snappy. It didn't look terrible. It didn't look too.
I mean, especially when you get to like Grand Cherokee and Grand Wagoneer,
Yeah.
those are especially good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, GM is Cadillac, and Cadillac Escalade has really, really good tech. So if they can just,
Yeah.
it's probably about control too.
Yeah.
We want these settings to be here. We want it to look like this in our car. We don't want big iPhone apps taking up your whole dash. But
Honestly,
I don't know.
I wonder if it's like a not really talked about safety thing or something like that.
I don't know, because it would be slower now.
No, I mean not like because CarPlay you can do more things like that are quote unquote distracting than if you were to just use the native thing. Like you can text from it, you can technically watch stuff from it while you're driving.
Yeah, and we don't know how you can text from this Google thing. It's not going to
Yeah.
work with iMessage.
Mm-mm.
I
No,
don't-
if Apple would just use RCA.
Okay. So anyway, we will have to try this at some point.
Next auto show.
Yeah, next auto show, I guess we'll be able to try it. But I don't know. In cars, if GM does this for all of their cars, and if this starts becoming a trend, I think normal people are gonna just
Get upset.
yeah, especially in cars with like historically bad infotainment systems. We're looking at you, Dodge.
Yeah.
So like all the Mopar owners when they get in their cars, well, then again, any Dodge owner wants all that performance control stuff that's in the native infotainment system,
Yeah.
not in CarPlay. So I don't know. Maybe this is actually good. We will have to test it.
We will test this eventually someday, guys.
This
If you want to send us a car.
yeah, feel free to send us a car. I don't even know how to segue into this next story. The best way to introduce it is to read this headline. So, the swagged out Pope is an AI fake and an early glimpse of a new reality. There was an image that went completely viral. Like, I can't remember the last time something went this viral. It was an image of the Pope wearing a big white puffy jacket. Like, it's kind of funny.
It's funny.
Because, like, the guy looks all serious, and he has this big white puffy
He's just
coat.
dripped out in his Balenciaga.
It looks like a designer coat. The image is completely fake.
Yeah.
It was generated by AI.
Mm-hmm.
At first glimpse, it looks surprisingly real.
It does.
Like-
I saw this. I didn't read the title, and I just saw it.
Like his face,
Mm-hmm.
the detail in the coat.
This is one of the best AI images I think I've seen.
Now, The Verge points out if you look at his hands, that's where the AI starts to struggle. Specifically, his right hand. It just
Oh,
kind of
yeah, I
got
see it.
destroyed. But then there's another AI image of him wearing like a different puffy coat that looks even better. So this is funny right off the bat. And then you start to really look at the potential here.
Yeah, and that's when it becomes a little scary.
Scroll down a little bit more on that article. This is all called Midjourney version 5.
Oh, this is Midjourney.
So, there are two pictures that it has. One is of Elon Musk at an award show, and the other is Conor McGregor at an award show. In suits with dramatic lighting, it looks surprisingly real.
Oh, wow. The Elon Musk one is really good.
The Conor McGregor kind of looks like a cartoon, but the
Yeah.
Elon one really looks real. There's one with Deadpool. There's one with people running from a dinosaur. And this is all generated from a prompt. And then there was another image that kind of surfaced, also from Midjourney. Following the news of a potential indictment for former President Trump, someone generated an image of Donald Trump being arrested. There was one of him with a rifle running with a SWAT team. And these surfaced on Facebook. So all of the Facebook people were like, Donald Trump was just arrested. He's being dragged out of his house. And everyone's like, calm down, that's AI. So the potential here to fake these kind of images are, I mean, it's kind of to the point where it's dangerous.
This Deadpool one is amazing. Besides the fact that his finger is a foot long, I think that was supposed to be a gun. But besides that, it looks like this is terrifying.
Yeah, because you can pretty easily fake things now and post it on Facebook where people are not willing to fact check information. Like, you could...
I want to see this Donald Trump one.
Yeah, if you just Google Donald Trump AI image, the first one there is him being tackled by the police. And then there's another one of him, like, pushing cops away. Like, when you really look at them, you can tell that they're fake. But, like, when you're scrolling through your Facebook feed, you really can't tell that these are AI cartoons. So, as a public service announcement to everyone, if you see an image of something that looks like this, like that kind of makes you wonder if it's real, just start reading the comments, see if it's AI, because the potential for this is kind of dangerous. Because now we have articles that can be written by AI and photos for the articles that can be written by AI. Eventually, we'll just have like an entire media publication that is AI. Auto writes the stories.
That's called Discord.
And just makes up photos. So...
Wow, that's terrifying.
We will see. And then, so of course, it wouldn't be an AI story unless we got the government involved. U.S. Federal Trade Commission, FTC, and the DOJ Antitrust Division say that they will scrutinize the new field of artificial intelligence-powered tools for signs of anti-competitive behavior.
Okay, hot take here. I honestly think AI will be banned in the next 10 years.
They're looking at an anti-competitive nature of this, not the like sheer danger of this. I mean, the government, like the FTC especially, loves anti-competitive bills to like split up Meta, split up Alphabet, split up everyone. But I think they're kind of worrying about the wrong thing.
Yes, definitely.
So I guess they're arguing Chat GPT or OpenAI is a monopoly. The FTC says that they should stop OpenAI from launching new GPT models. It says it violates their rules against unfair and deceptive practices.
Right.
So they're kind of seeing that some bad things are being done with this AI, but I don't know. This is going to be a mess. Especially once the 2024 election starts rolling out.
That's going to be terrible.
These photos ramp up. These fake headlines are... I mean, this is
gonna be the splitting of our country.
We will see the potential. There's a lot of good stuff that can be done with AI, but there's also
infinite good things that can be done with AI. But there is the same, if not more, infinite bad things that can be done with AI. A rogue AI model is the scariest thing that this world will ever see.
Yeah.
I don't mean that like in any kind of lighthearted kind of way.
I recently gave a speech, and it was on ChatGPT, and the quote I ended with was, "Machine intelligence is the last invention that humanity will ever have to create. After that, AI just takes over everything."
Yep. And it will. Anyways.
So on that note, we're going to go to a break, and then we'll be back with some Apple stuff. The Control-AC podcast is sponsored by The Complete Backyard. The Complete Backyard is a custom outdoor living space design and build company. So basically, you contact them with your ideal outdoor living space, such as a pool, outdoor kitchen, cabana, pergola, anything that goes in your backyard, they've got. They will help you design the whole thing, and then they'll build it, and then you will love the result. To contact them, you can go to thecompletebackyard.com. So we got a not invitation. We're not going, but an announcement for WWDC 2023.
But listen. If you want to get us an invitation,
If we'd love to go, we'd love to cover this. If you work at Apple, you can email us. This is kind of cool because our first ever episode, 31 episodes ago, was WW 2022 recap.
that's crazy.
So when we actually come full circle and recap this, that'll be pretty
Here we
neat.
go again.
But WWDC will begin on June 5th. So we'll have our whole event: iOS, iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, maybe tvOS. And then the rumor is we'll see some VR stuff.
That'd be pretty cool.
So the invitation is kind of like this rainbow arch structure, which kind of looks like lenses stacked on top of each other.
It's a good way of putting
If you
that.
scroll down in the article, if you flip it and put another one below it, it makes an eye shape, like your eye.
It looks like the CBS thing.
Looks like the CBS logo. So maybe we get VR stuff. Apple staff reportedly has doubts now about the launch of the headset. It was supposed to be released at WW, but now it's looking, per the New York Times, like it may not.
Aw.
The price point is supposed to be around $3,000, so it's not really a consumer level product. The Times said internal skeptics have questioned if the new device is a solution in search of a problem. Which is a really interesting way of putting it. It's a solution to a problem that does not exist.
Yeah, which is
No one
incapable
actually
VR.
really needs this device. It just kind of exists. I don't have any use for a $3,000 headset. That's a lot of money to spend
that is a lot of money.
on an Apple Arcade portal.
It's gonna be yeah. You can play Sneaky Sasquatch in
Honestly,
VR now.
Floor is Lava with the headset would be kind of fun. But is it worth $3,000? Probably not.
No.
So we'll see. We're supposed to get a fairly decent upgrade to iOS in iOS 17. And then in terms of macOS and iPadOS, maybe we'll get center stage again. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll get something.
Center Stage was
Or,
just
no,
bad.
not center stage. Stage Manager.
Oh, Stage Manager.
Have you used that once?
No. Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, Stage. Yeah, it's just bad.
I have not used that thing once. It's kind of a little useless.
There was a solid week where you tried to convince me that was the coolest thing that
I
Apple's
mean,
ever made.
I thought it was. For a solid week, that was pretty cool.
Was it?
But and then the week kind of ended, and I don't know. It's kind of just a failure. We're also seeing leaks about the iPhone 15 Pro or 15 Ultra, whatever it will be called. The mute switch is going to be gone. So for years,
Yeah.
that's a hardware thing that no other phone, I believe, except OnePlus has had.
Mm-hmm.
iPhones have a mute switch on the left side. You can flick it and it mutes the phone. It's really straightforward. And that will be gone in favor of an action button, which I love.
Hypothetically.
So just like there are a ton of leaked patents about this, seems like it's a pretty close to, we're not going to say confirmed, we're not Forbes, but it will have an action button on the top left per these leaks that will replace the mute switch. It will basically be like a macro button. You can just program it to anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
So you can press it once, it'll mute your phone. You can program it to flashlight. You just click it and there's
honestly,
your flashlight. That's kind of cool.
That itself is my favorite feature.
That's kind of cool. So I always keep my iPhone muted,
Mm-hmm.
like the
Same.
mute switch on, because I have an Apple Watch and I get texts on that. So
I
there's no
don't have
point in
that, but I
having my
keep it on
phone
anyways.
just beep every time. So I'll probably map this to flashlight, I guess. But then again, I have a flashlight on my watch. So
But it's not great.
No.
It just turns the screen white.
So maybe I have. Oh, if you could program it to a shortcut.
That would be cool. Like,
to launch an app
Yeah,
or
like
to
launch
like
maps or something.
turn off a light.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. I don't know. I mean, you could use it to like trigger the camera app,
But-
quick camera button.
I mean, you just kind of swipe over anyway.
Yeah. I mean, and plus your flashlight's right there on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll be interesting. I'm sure there's gonna be an infinite number of things you can do.
Yeah, they'll have some kind of selling point for it, but we shall see. And then
When you're lost in the woods, your phone can play a massive beep.
oh yeah, maybe it'll get a siren like the Apple Watch
We'll get a
Ultra.
little air horn on the.
I was disappointed when we went to the Apple store and I tried on the Apple Watch Ultra and they disabled the siren.
Maybe we'll just have to buy an app. We'll just somebody in the audience just buy us an Apple Watch and then we can try it.
The
Just
siren
for
feature.
scientific purposes.
Yes. I think the Wall Street Journal did a video where they compared the siren on the Apple Watch Ultra to just yelling. And yelling was like infinitely louder.
Oh.
So it's kind of pointless.
I mean, but like if you're like tired and you can't exactly yell if you don't have any voice or if you're tired or you're like. Anyways, we don't need to talk. This is a different story.
I don't know. This goes back to our conversation of like why Tim Cook has an Apple Watch Ultra on in case he just stumbles across a mountain that he wants to climb. Anyway, 2 new Apple services are out: Apple Pay Later and Apple Music Classical. So Apple Pay Later was introduced quite a while ago.
Yeah, last
I think at
WWDC,
WWDC,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or the Mac event. I don't remember which one.
I think it was WWDC. Apple Pay Later lets you pay later with Apple Pay. So you
That's crazy.
you click Pay Later when you go to buy a product, and it will just auto finance whatever you're buying.
See, it's all fun and games until you forget that you financed a car.
Can you finance a car?
I
through
wonder if
Apple
this
Pay?
only works on like verified like things like Amazon and the Apple
You
Store.
have to. I'm sure you'll have to be 18.
Yeah, there's
You'll
no
have
way.
to have like a credit card linked to it.
Or a credit score of some kind.
I don't know. Also, this is all running through a bank that Apple has contracted with. I hope they withstand like millions and millions of people taking out loans every day, mini loans. Hope we don't have another Silicon Valley Bank collapse,
Yeah.
and then. So we'll see, but there are lots of like ethical questions about this, because Apple is a very like consumer mental health focused.
They're gonna have to figure out some way of doing this because like, what if you just hook a prepaid Visa to it?
Well, I mean, like their whole thing is like we want to benefit humanity, and then also you can finance everything so you can buy things you can't afford.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet that said I just paid off my Starbucks coffee that I bought like in November with he financed the $6 coffee for like $1.25 a month for 6 months. So like you can finance everything. So you could swing into QT and finance a
Taquito.
taquito for 6 months.
That's hilarious.
So I don't know. We will see how that works. And then Apple Music Classical. So for all of you classical music fans who hate the normal Apple Music app, you get your very own app. It is literally just another Apple Music app, but only for classical music. Which still doesn't fix my biggest problem with classical music. My biggest problem is there are classical songs that I like that I've heard, but I could never tell you the actual name. I just know what they sound
Symphony
like.
number 17.
In B minor. That's my favorite. Maybe it'll have like that hum the song to recognize it.
Shazam.
Whatever. Shazam. And Apple owns Shazam. So maybe we'll see something there. Dub will be interesting though. We will have another hour and 20-minute episode recapping that in June. June 5th is when Dub is. We will have that whole week to prepare. And then let's see. And then June 12th is when that episode will drop.
That's crazy.
We're really looking forward to this.
Is that exactly a year ago from our first episode?
June 12th?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to see. Let's check. Let's go.
It was June 6th. Oh wait. Actually, hold on. Dub last year was June 6th through June 10th.
No, our first episode was published on the 17th. So it'll be like almost a week to that day,
That's crazy.
which is kind of cool. So
It is
we're
cool.
looking forward to that because we haven't had a tech event in quite a while. Anyway, that has been it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or want to send us a GM vehicle, you can reach out to us on the platform with the realest photos. Twitter, I'm at Utterly Drew.
And I'm at Cole WW Web.
And we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.